executing, right? The report,
Yeah.
the query. The first time when I executing that, I was running that, then it was saying, you can choose Firefox or the Internet Explorer. So I wasn't giving any uh, consideration on that. I thought it could automatically come, but when I run it, when I execute it, I choose something and it went into there and it was not opening at all. Yeah. So is that I have to install anything, any Bex query?
No, nothing you need to install. When you are executing, you can simply execute it. So are you getting any error while executing?
No, it's not. No, it's not executing at all because it's going into. First of all, I was getting a pop-up for to select the Firefox or the Explorer or anything, something like that. And finally, I choose something. So now it's not opening at all.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just make you presenter so you can just show it and is it okay? Can you share your screen?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So now you are the presenter. You can share your screen from the top. You have installed GoToMeeting?
Share your screen. I already installed. I have a GoToMeeting already inside, but it's still asking download.
Because you
So
have joined from web, I guess. So that's why it is asking.
Rakesh Devia.
Hey, hi Dev. How are you?
Yeah, good Rakesh. How are you?
I'm good, good. So just Aziz is having some issues regarding the dashboard. So he's discussing that. Meanwhile, we are waiting
Okay.
for others. Let others come.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I'm able to see your screen, Aziz.
okay, good.
Yeah.
So if you see here,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. Just
then
execute it.
I'm going to execute it, right?
Yeah.
So it's coming like this. It's going to E something, some Microsoft Edge.
Hello. This is not executing, huh?
Right.
Okay. You just copy this, the URL, and open in IE. No, you run it again.
Open.
Just execute
Uh-huh.
it
Okay.
and then let it run in Edge. I think it is running in Microsoft Edge. So just copy that
Right,
URL
right, right.
from the top. Yeah,
Okay.
copy it and you run in Chrome or IE. Open Internet Explorer and
Uh, this one here.
no, the same URL, whatever is there, right? Localhost and I'll just copy that
Yeah.
and open a new tab in Google Chrome or Internet Explorer and try to run there.
Okay.
Yeah, just paste it here and try, see, enter. Okay.
Yeah, it's taking time. I think it's coming. Oh,
So it's taking a little bit time, but it is coming.
right. So can I hide this? No, the left side. This one.
Yeah, this one you have inserted some, I think one cross tab, so you can delete that cross tab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi
thank you.
Krishna, I will
Hello?
start soon. Yeah.
Rakesh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi Krishna, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have any question, Krishna? Guys, any other question from yesterday's class? Aziz, Dev, or Krishna?
Actually, I didn't practice more, so I will do tomorrow, and I will come with question. I didn't got time, frankly. So
Okay.
I need to do the things.
Okay, fine. But guys, do the practice, because if you miss one class, then next class is dependent on the earlier one.
Yes,
So it's
right.
better to finish the practice. Anyways, you do it tomorrow. After that, we have like
Yeah.
2 days break, anyway, Saturday, Sunday. So you can finish up everything.
Oh, Saturday, Sunday we don't have class.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. We have Monday to Friday. We'll finish in 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes, Rakesh, the info chart, right?
Yeah.
Once you add the info chart,
Yeah.
and if I add the info chart in the gender,
Okay.
over there, if I add it over there, I cannot see the properties. I have to add the data in there.
Yeah. See, whatever component you add, if you want to see its additional properties, you need to first assign a data source. If you don't assign a data source, you will not be able to see additional properties. For example, this chart. Yes, this is the chart, right? We have assigned a data source. So that's why you are able to see its additional properties.
You can see my screen?
No. You have stopped sharing. So if you want, you can share screen again. You want to share screen?
Yeah, please.
Okay, now you can start sharing. You can share screen. Yeah, I can
See over here in the gender side, I have to add the data in there.
No.
I don't see on the right side, you see, I don't.
See, there is no data. It's an image basically, right? The
Right.
data we are displaying in the text box just below the image.
Yeah, here.
Right? So
I don't see the data.
that we did through Java scripting. If you remember, we went to startup and then there we did. We can assign data sources to charts and other components, but not to. We can assign data source to analytical components basically.
Right.
Whatever analytical components are there, right? We can assign data sources there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are the ways we cannot add the data in here.
Directly we can't add, but
Without
through Java scripting, yeah, we can assign data.
Oh, we need the Java scripting. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Here I did the hard coding. Yeah.
Sorry?
Here also I can do the Java coding.
No. See, you have done the hard coding, right? You can do whatever you want in the properties for the text box. But again, while running, right, you can override this thing. So whatever is written here, you can override using JavaScript. So yesterday we did the JavaScripting, right? On the startup, we did some Java. We have written some JavaScripting 5 lines of code.
Good.
Using those, you can override these things.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll start the today's class. So today we're going to talk about filters, how to filter the data. So this is yesterday's dashboard. I'll just run it again for you guys. Okay. So when we run the dashboard, we see there is a drop down which has time period. Now, if we want to select a different time period, dashboard should refresh. As of now, it is not doing because we have not written any code. So what should happen when we apply a filter? To apply a filter, there are couple of methods available. One, you can use the data binding option directly using other components. For example, instead of drop down, we'll use some other component. So what I'll do is, as of now, I'll hide this component. You can hide the component. You can set the visibility. I'm just hiding the component so it will not show when we are running. Now when we run, the component will not appear because we have set the visibility as false. So the drop down is not there now, but it is showing in the canvas. So what we can do is to hide the from here also we can right click and hide it. So now it will not show on the canvas also. So let's add another component for filtering. There's a component called dimension filter. For that, you need to assign a data source. Okay, so we don't have a data source just for time period. So what I'll do is I'll just copy paste one data source, edit its initial view, and bring the time period in the rows so that we'll have time period. Now let's assign that data source. It's ds_1. Let's rename it so it becomes easy. ds period. Assign that data source ds period and dimension is cal month. My target data source where that filter should apply is, it should apply on these data sources. Simply run and let's see. We have not done any coding. We have just did the configuration. So we have a cal month dimension filter. Is the dimension filter. We click on the arrow, it will pop up with all the values. There you can select multiple values or single value. So let's say we want to show it for December 2015. Once we select and click apply, you just see as of now roll 1 is 511069. We are applying a filter. Now the filter is applied on all the data sources. We have applied the filter on gender also, but if you see here the values are still same because when we apply a filter, after that also we need to update its value using Java scripting again, because it's a text box. We have assigned a value to text box. If the data source is changed, now data source has some different value, but still we have not assigned new value to the text box. That's why it is showing the old value only. If you select different filter, all the other charts will filter out based on that particular month, but text boxes, total headcount, new hire, attrition, or male or female headcounts, they will not automatically update. Everything is updated. Again, if you see, this is updated. All other charts are updated, but these values are not updated. What you need to do is you need to write coding again. So let's go back here. We have written these line of code. I'll remove So these 5 lines of code we have written to update the text boxes. The same code we will copy and paste on the whenever we interact with this dimension filter. When we click on apply on dimension filter at the runtime, what should happen is, again we want to assign, we want to fetch the data from this data source and assign to this text box. Similarly for other text boxes also. So now you just see the number, it's 1342268. If you apply the filter now, let's say December 2015, the value is updated now. Here, wherever we have applied the JavaScripting, whatever we have used the JavaScripting for 5 text boxes, those 5 text boxes are also updated now. This is understood? You understood, guys?
Yeah, Rakesh, quick question here. So you have applied all these codes to the event of each text box, right?
No, I have applied these code on the event of when we do any changes, when we click on event of that dimension filter. Right?
Okay, all right.
Now, if you have these text boxes, for example, you want to change these numbers on everywhere, right? So instead of writing multiple times, the same code, you are writing the same code multiple times. So from maintenance point of view also, it becomes very difficult, because tomorrow if you want to do some changes, you need to change 2 places. So instead of that, you can use a global script. Okay, so global script, you can create a global script from technical component, right click and say global script and create a function. And let's say update whatever head count or update text boxes. And in this editor, you write your code. So this is the code to update all the text boxes. Now we have a script. What we will do is, instead of writing the complete code again, we'll simply call that script global script dot, this is our script. Similarly on startup also, instead of writing separate code, we'll use global script. So basically this script, instead of this script in background, when we are executing, this script will refer to this particular line will take the execution to the global script, and all these statements will execute. So now we are writing the same code once, but we are reusing that code again and again. So the behavior is same, but from maintenance point of view, you are not writing the code 2 times. Now you can just simply see, apply. It's applied. You're not writing the code on for example, if you click on department, you want to filter again, you need to write all the codes. So instead of that, you can simply call that script again. This way the coding is easy and maintenance is also becomes very easy. Any questions, guys? Okay, fine. If you don't have any questions, then see, this was a dimension filter. Now I'm just hiding this also. And again, let's create another type of filter called filter line. And again, you can select a data source. So let's select TS period and target. You can select multiple data sources again. If you don't want to apply it for gender, don't select that. It won't apply on the gender. Let's run and see. So now you have an icon. So you can add filters from, you want to add a filter for this. So there are different type of filters available. All the charts are updated, but this number is not updated because we are not calling that script. If we call that script also, another type of filter, what is available is filter panel. So there you can add multiple filters.
Rakesh, we didn't call the global script on the previous filter.
Yeah, there is no option to call the, there is no event basically. So you can't call any, you can't do any scripting there. If you see here, right? So for this component, that
Okay.
event is not available.
So basically, we need to understand the purpose. Then accordingly, we need to use the filter.
Correct. Yeah. If you have only charts, then only you can use filter line. Else use some other filters. There are different type of filters available. So based on your requirement, you can choose which filter you want to use.
Okay. Yeah.
Like for example, dimension filter, right? You can assign only one dimension. But filter panel, for example, filter panel is there. Let's assign target data sources, select all, and there's a dimension. So what are the dimensions you want? So when you run, now you can, instead of only time period, you can apply filters on other dimensions as well. So you can club all the filters together using filter panel. Now you should have some space also. So let me just hide this chart.
So which are the filter panel where we can impact the global script, where we can impact the gender using global script?
Here, see, for this component,
On apply, yeah, it is coming.
yeah. So on apply, you can just call that global script again.
Okay.
So now you have multiple dimensions, not only cal month. So you can simply select cal month, you can select department, gender, select everything and click on apply. Accordingly, all the filters will be applied.
Okay.
So why this is not coming up? Let's remove this at least. I'm just putting this filter outside the grid so that it shows at least properly. One minute, it's, yeah. Now you click on department, select your department, select your cal month, come back again, and so we have applied 3 filters, and once we click on apply, it will fill that filter will apply. Those 3 filters are applied. So based on the requirement, if you want multiple filters, you can use filter panel. If you want single filter, you can use dimension filter. So this is clear. Simply hide this component also. I'm not removing this component from our dashboard. Okay. So let's unhide this component again. So it shows. Yeah. Now instead of these filters, we are using a drop down basically. If you use dimension filter and all, you simply can select the target data source basically. So you don't have to write the Java scripting when you are working with filter panel or dimension filter. But when you are using a drop down button, drop down, that time you can't assign a data source to it. So what we did is at the startup we have assigned the values, what values we should show in startup. In the dimension, in the drop down. So we have assigned through Java scripting. What happens when we select some values, that also can be controlled using JavaScript only. So when we select something, we can write a JavaScript. What should happen? What should happen is whatever value we select from the drop down, that value should apply as a filter on other data sources. So first what we'll do is we'll capture that value. What is that value? So let's define a variable just to capture, let's say v drop down period selection. This is our variable, and value will come from whatever value we select from the drop down. So we want to get some value from the drop down. So drop down summary dot get methods. What we want to get is whatever value we select in the drop down, get selected value. So whatever value we are selecting in the drop down, that value we are assigning it to the one variable called dd period selection. Now this, we have the value in variable, we want to apply a filter on data source. So we want to give something to the data source, we want to set a filter. So data source, what are the data sources we have? These are the data sources we have. For first chart we have risk data source, ds.risk.set. We want to set a filter. Just go through the list and there is a method called set filter. We want to apply a filter on ds risk data source. It requires 2 parameters. On which dimension you want to apply a filter and what is the value of that dimension. So the dimension which we want to apply a filter is month. Whenever we do a selection in the drop down of period which has the cal month, that same value we are capturing here, and for the same dimension we want to apply a filter. So this value is nothing but our variable. So we have applied the filter now. Similarly for other data source also. So the second data source is department. dot, we want to apply a filter, set filter. The dimension is cal_month and the value is the variable. I'll just copy paste it and change third data source is role. Fourth is gender. Fifth is country. Sixth is length of service. So we applied the filter. Let's test that. Now if we select a filter, so you see the head count is 2695200. This is the head count, and my department 1 value is 9491733. If I apply a filter for August 2016, my still this value has not changed, but this value has changed. So you know why this value is not changed? Any idea, guys?
That is the total value for the particular like new hire, attrition.
Yeah. So we have,
value, I would say.
but we have applied the filter for gender also, right? We have applied the filter for gender data source also.
Is it because of the global scripting that you have?
Correct. So we have not called that global script. We have applied the filter, but we need to update our text boxes also.
Exactly.
So to update the text boxes again, what we need to do is we need to call our global script again to update our text boxes. Now if we run, it will update our text boxes as well. So you select a different and you see total headcount is updated. Even new hire, attrition and other text boxes are also updated. So whenever you apply a filter and you have a data, so you are showing data in some text boxes, you need to assign those values again. So write a script and call that script again. That way the filter is applied this way. Now if you see here, the drop down is not sorted. You first have December 2015, then Feb 2016, then Jan 2016, July. It's sorted based on alphabets. So sorting is not proper. To do the sorting properly, yeah.
Rakesh, I cannot see your screen now. All of a sudden.
Okay. Guys, other guys, are you able to see my screen? Everyone else?
Yes, Rakesh, I can see.
I can only see like your name, like Rakesh, meeting title, and that's it.
Okay, 1 minute. Then let me just stop it and share it again. Just see if you are able to see the dashboard.
Rakesh?
Yeah.
I'm not able to see the dashboard. I can only see like your meeting title and your details, your dial, your number and your access code. That's it. I mean that's wide screen. That's the wide screen I can see.
Okay, 1 minute. Dev, what about you?
I can see clearly everything.
Okay. And Aziz, you are also fine. Krishna, for you also you are having the same issue?
Yeah, for me your screen is coming late and your voice is coming, so I'm not able to follow because there's
Okay.
a movement, this you speak and suddenly this I see and then another screen comes, so this I'm not able to follow it, but I thought that it's issue with me. But,
Maybe that is because of network.
Maybe You can exit. Aziz also had some issue, but he exited and rejoined. So can you guys do the same thing? Can you just
Okay,
rejoin again, exit and rejoin?
let
Let's see that.
Okay, let me rejoin again.
Yeah. Now, are you able to see Krish?
I can see the Rakesh's meeting.
Okay, not.
I can't.
You're not able to see the dashboard.
No, I can't.
Rakesh, for me also the problem is now. I can't see the dashboard.
Okay.
It was coming some time back.
Yeah, Rakesh, that
Yeah.
it is the initial screen is now it's a Rakesh meeting. Before it was a dashboard we can see, but I think
Okay.
No, yeah, it is coming now. It is coming
Yeah, now
now.
it's visible.
that's fine.
Okay, fine. So it's coming for everyone now, right?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Yeah.
Fine then. Okay, let's continue. So what I was telling is about this drop down, that this values, the time period values are not in sorting. They are sorted alphabetically. So D comes first. That's why December 2015, then Feb, F, then J, M, N. So it's sorted alphabetically. So sorted properly. This data is coming from, we have added using gender. So instead of gender, what we will do is we have a new data source that is specifically for time period. So this is specifically for time period. So first we need to sort the data source in the initial view itself. So if we sort it ascending or descending, it won't work. We need a key.
I'm sorry, Rakesh. How do you got this time period data source?
No, it is the same data source only. Let me just.
Okay.
So we have used this data source just to for the dimension filters. I have created another data source. So for sorting purpose also we'll use the same data source, new data source only.
Okay.
So instead of text, what we will use is we'll use key.
Mhm.
Okay. And in key, now it is sorted. Okay, so the value is not correct here, October 2016. It should be October 2015. Then November 2016 is there, then December, January, and all. So everything is sorted out. Everything else is sorted. So now let's run and see. We have done that sorting in initial view of the data source. Still it is not coming in sorting. Alright, so Kalman, let's use internal key. Okay,
I think you have to replace the and within the code. I think you have to replace it with key underscore text.
The sorting is not done. So by key in ascending 16.
December.
No, Rakesh, I think your value is maintained, text value is maintained wrong, looks like that. If you see the November,
Okay. Now let's do the sorting by key ascending. So now it is sorted. And instead of key, let's have the text. So we want to
Key
display
underscore.
text, else it will display the key instead of text. This was displaying keys, right? So instead of key, we want to display text. No. Okay, some issues there.
Is it key underscore text for
No,
the within the
this,
code?
no, this the sorting you will do here only.
Rakesh,
So let me just remove it and put
hello?
it again. Yeah.
In November, if you see the 2015-11 second row, you have maintained as a text November 16. So is it probably the text is wrong, correct?
Yeah, text is wrong.
So if you short it, then just if you use it, then you will have the. I'm not sure what exactly you're doing.
Let's, there instead of 2016 it should be 2015 actually.
Yeah.
So the value is not data is not correct properly. Yes. Let me just see if same issues with the actual dashboard also. Okay. There is a issue here also. Let me just check it how we can overcome this problem. The sorting I'll explain you later on. Let me test it. Yeah, another filter. We have spoken about one filter. We have added one filter for time period. Another requirement was if we select a department from here, it should filter all the data sources for the department. So for that, what we can do is, okay, from first chart we will start. So if we select a particular risk, for that particular risk, complete dashboard should get filtered out. So now, first what we'll do is we'll capture the value of the risk. Again, we'll define a variable called v underscore risk selection. That is equal to whatever value we select from the this chart. So ich underscore summary underscore risk chart. This is our chart, and we want to get a value from this chart. So get method get selected member. Whatever value we select, that value we are assigning to a variable. And what we are selecting is we are selecting the risk from the chart. That particular risk, whatever risk we select, that particular risk will assign it to this variable. And then when we'll apply the same filters for all the data sources. So ds risk dot set filter, dimension is risk, and the value is again the variable. The second data source is department. Third is role. Fourth is gender. then country and length of service. And similarly, to update the text boxes, we'll call the global script again, which will update the text boxes. Now, if we select a value called July 2016, dashboard is filtered for July 2016. And if we apply, okay, we want to see only high risk members, high risk employees. We select high risk employees. These are the departments, department wise risk. These are the total employees under high risk. These are the male, female, and by country and all. So everything is applied. Similarly, when we click on department, this should filter out for the it should show the data for department 2, and overall dashboard should also show the data for department 2 only. For that, again, what we will do is we'll apply the same logic here also. So we'll create a variable called v department selection. The value we'll get from the chart selection, the department chart dot get selected member, and this time we'll select the department value. Once now we have the department selection in this variable, we'll apply the filter on all the data sources. For department, role, gender, country, length of service, and we'll call the global script to update the text boxes. I'm just copying the same script. We'll use the same code again for the third graph, and we'll do small modification there. So this time what we will create, we will create a global variable which will have the role selection, and it will select the role from role chart. The dimension what we are going to select is again role, and then we'll change this. So this time we will assign the filter on role. And our variable value is
Rakesh, in that case, like this role field has to be in all the data source.
Yes.
Like in some data source, huh? If
No.
it is not there, will it, is there any?
Then you don't apply that. For example, if country don't have that role filter, role dimension, then don't apply that filter. You can't apply, right? If the dimension is not there, how you will apply the filter?
Right. Then that should be that is mandatory, right? If
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
applying.
Yeah, because when you apply a filter, it will list all the dimensions available in that data source. So on which dimension you want to apply the filter, you select that dimension.
Okay. Okay. So it means that we should keep the mandatory fields in the data source, and which field we want, that field we can filter in the particular graph, but we should keep the maximum field which is necessary for the filter and all, right?
Correct, correct.
You got my point?
Yeah, you should have all the dimensions in all the data sources if you want to filter all the data sources based on any selection.
Okay. And if the particular graph need only one field, that I can do set filter, not set filter, there is
Edit.
some option, right?
No,
We can
in edit initial view, you can set, okay, which dimension you want to use for display purpose. But for filtering, you can use any other dimension.
yes, correct.
Yeah. So now when you click on mail image, it should filter the data for just for mail. So what we'll do is, okay, let's first apply the filter for here, for country and all. So this time what I'll do is, instead of writing there, I'll use a simple method. I'll just replace role with country in the whole chart, whole code. So everything is replaced now. I can simply copy and paste. So if you use proper naming convention and all, then the coding becomes very easy. Okay, the country is not, it's a nation, I think. Your data source, we should have used the nation instead of country. And for this, length of service. So we'll replace country also with length of service. Okay. Again, this is something else.
Yeah, Rakesh, can we use another approach like use these? I don't know if I'm thinking about this right, but can we use this particular code in a global script and then sort of reference that global script here within the event?
No, you can use global script also, but every time the dimension value is changing. For example, when we click on length of service chart, we are using this dimension. When we are clicking on dimension department chart, this value is different. Still, what we can do is we can copy this chart, copy this code. Instead of writing here, we can create a global script. For example, let's say create a function, update. This is length of service, right? Or you say length of service filter. And in this script, you write the code and call that script. So it is same. So instead of writing the complete code here, you are just calling the global script. So from maintenance point of view, yeah, it becomes very easy because you're writing all the major code, complex code under global scripts. Everywhere else, you are just calling those scripts. So if tomorrow, if someone wants to understand the dashboard, he can simply come and see, okay, how much line of code you have written. He can simply come and see, okay, this is the code. Now he can take a reference where this code is used. You can simply find where this code is used. You right click and click on find references. Then, okay, this code is used here in this script. So that way it becomes very easy from maintenance point of view. So yeah, the best practice is you write always the right code under global script only and use global script everywhere. Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, when we click on mail, okay, so we have not assigned any data source to the image, right? So we can't use a variable, will not have any value. Let's remove this also. This time what we will do is we'll set filter on gender dimension and the value is nothing but 1. 1 is male. Similarly for department, role, gender, country, and length of service. And again, we'll call the global script. Just simply copy. This is for male because one is for male. Similarly, when we click on female image, the dashboard should filter for female. So the female value is 2. And again, we'll update the text boxes. So let's see. So now you can select any filter. For example, you want to see the dashboard for just for role 1, how many total employees we have. Okay. You select a particular time period, March 2016, any particular department or any particular country. Let's select Denmark only. These years. Okay, let's select 1 to 3 years. So total 614 employees. These are the male. Select male. So 411 are male and these are the departments. You select department. So 128. Everything is updated immediately. Now the next thing is you want to come back to the initial stage. How do you do that? So for that we'll have a refresh button for each chart so that that filter is removed. So how to remove that filter, that we will discuss tomorrow. And it's till today like how to apply filter and what kind of there are different type of filters available and how to use global script, where to use and why we want to use, why we should use global script. So those are the topics covered today. If you have any questions related to these things for today's class or yesterday's class, we can discuss those things.
Rakesh,
Yeah.
quickly, I want to refer to Bax query. If we have the Bax query as a data source,
Yeah.
and we have the few filters over there already, how we will manage them actually in the design studio? Will the dashboard change automatically based on the BW filters, or what exactly happens?
No, I didn't got your question completely, but what I understood is you have some variables on BW queries,
Correct. Yeah,
right?
that's
So
correct.
those values you want to change at the runtime. Is that correct?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can pass the values again. You can set those values. So for that there is a method called see if at the startup only you want to assign some values, then you go and on variable initialization you assign the values. So those values are like application dot set variable values. So you use this method set variable values ext because you are assigning it from outside. It's not coming from the data source, and you that variable value, right? It will start from via x something in Bex, right? So that give the technical name of that variable and what is the value you want to assign, hard code. Then later on, wherever you want to again pass the value back to the database, use the same statement in your code. So if you click on this, that time it should bring, for example, you have a variable for time period, and that period you are doing a selection from this filter drop down. So you assign that variable. Whenever you are assigning a variable, again it will refresh all the data sources which has this variable, which will have this variable. So it will refresh all the data source automatically, which will have this particular variable. You don't have to write the code to refresh that data source again. Automatically it will do. Is it clear?
I see. Is it possible for you to, if we have somewhat environment later on, is it possible for you to just show that how things work?
See, environment is there, but I'm not sure whether we have variables or not, because we might have to create those things. So I'll just check if we can create those kind of scenarios. Let me
Just
check
only
it.
simple variable like zero Kelvin or zero.
Yeah, if the variable is there,
Any
because
variable, yeah, there's any standard variable which we can take it and see that how that dashboard works. Maybe not today, tomorrow you can show me whenever you are.
see, I have a server, so but I'm not sure whether this kind of data is available. So I need to first check, or I might need your
That's
help to
fine.
create that data.
No, yeah, I can create. I mean, it's the flat file we can even load. Not this is standard data source or something. We can your file, yeah, which can we have loaded directly over there through the flat file. Those file can be routed through the BW, and over there in BW in Vax we can create a one filter over there for the time period.
Correct.
And then just we try to create the design. We try to create the dashboard on based on that file and see how things work actually. So we can create the same scenario but through the BW.
Okay, fine. Let me just check how to do that. I'll over the weekend, because tomorrow is a holiday here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just check.
If you need help, I can just probably just it will be matter of 1 hour to just load the flat file by creating the back. So if whenever you can ping me, I can create it, and probably we can take the scenario with everyone on Monday if you want.
Sure, definitely. Tomorrow, let me just try it. If I'm not able to do it, I'll take your help.
Yeah. Ping me anytime. Ping me tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be back home from the client.
Problem is on that server, it is the Design Studio client is 1.5. It is not 1.6. That's why I'm not using that server.
I see. No,
So, but for this scenario only, we will use it just to showcase it how.
Yeah.
Because anyways, we'll know how to use Bex queries and all.
Yeah, that's just only we will load the flat file one, which will be routed through the BW. So will be as the same Bex query as even it is a flat file or some other file, some other query. The Bex query will be loaded, and then we will do it. Simple scenario.
Sure, yeah, we'll do it.
If everybody is okay.
Yeah. No. Anyways, see, Bex queries are part of course content. So we are going to use Bex queries as data source, but not for this dashboard. This dashboard I wanted to create standalone only, so that you guys can do the practice.
That's fine. Yeah, thank you. So I have to do the practice as well to get to the same level as well, because I'm missing.
Yeah, that everyone needs to do that practice.
Yeah, so just looking forward to today. I will going back and then we'll be doing all the practice. Let's see that where I see the problem.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, any other question from your side? Aziz, Dev, or Misbah?
Need to practice, then I will come with question.
Okay, and if you have any questions, right, you can just send me WhatsApp also. If you have any questions, we can discuss on WhatsApp also, or you can send me an email. I'll reply to that email, so you don't have to wait for till the class.
Okay, Rakesh, that would be good.
Rakesh, I'm just having a little feeling about the JavaScript. Could be more involvement of JavaScript could be possible, right, in future, and so many other.
See, when you are working on a real-time dashboard, definitely you need to write a lot of JavaScript. That's why we are working on JavaScripting, right? Every day we are using a little, and every day we are increasing the complexity of JavaScripting. We are writing more code.
Yeah, that's true. But looks like you have to have the JavaScript skills.
No.
Here.
See, that is not required. That's what I told you yesterday, right? I told you how to write JavaScript in Design Studio, not outside Design Studio. But within Design Studio, how to write is, if you can think logically, you can write the JavaScripting. See, what we did in this JavaScripting is, what we wanted to do first, just write on the notepad. Okay, if we click on the any chart, what should happen is, For example, when we click on this department chart, what should happen? Logically, not on JavaScripting. All the data sources, because we want to refresh we want to show the data just for that department only on our dashboard. So the dashboard should show the data. For example, we select department 1. We are selecting department 1.
Correct.
Right? If we select department 1, then dashboard should show the data for department 1 only. Right? This is our requirement. Now, how to do that is, to achieve that, we know that we have applied a data sources here. We have assigned one data source here, role data source, to the role chart. Right? Now, if we apply a filter on role data source, automatically this will show the data for that department only. So we need to assign a filter on role data source. Right?
Right.
And what is the filter value? Whatever we select, filter value is nothing but whatever we select on department chart, correct? So whatever department we select on department chart, that value is applied as a filter on role data source, correct? So this is our logical. Now, to convert this logic into JavaScripting, what you will do is first capture the filter value, because you should have a filter value, right? Then only you can apply on anything. So first capture the filter value. Now you want to get, yesterday I told you, right? There are methods, get methods and set methods. I'll just mute you, Aziz, for a minute. If you have any questions, you can just unmute and ask. Okay. So what you will do is, first you will capture the filter value for the department chart. How you will capture is, you want to get something from the chart. So you will use a get method. So using the chart.get methods. So under get methods, you have a method called get selected member. So whatever you select for that member, you want to select the department of that member. So the department you are assigning into a variable. So now you have the selection. If you click on department 1, that this particular value, this particular variable will have value called department 1. Now you can assign that filter. Now you want to assign a filter. Second part of the logic is, we need to assign a filter on role data source. So you type role data source dot, you want to assign a filter. We want to give something to the data source. Setting, we want to set something. Set filter is the method, and it requires 2 parameters. On which dimension you want to apply filter, that is department. You want to apply a filter on department, and the value is coming from this variable. We have already captured that value. Simply copy paste, and the statement is closed. So we have applied a filter successfully. So if first you like you do a dry run in your mind, that okay, this is the logic you want to write. Now one by one, in one statement you achieve one line, another statement, another line, and you can write multiple line of JavaScripting code. See, this we can do. There is another option also to do that. We want to apply a filter on data source, right? Directly set filter. The dimension is role, and the value, this value is coming from the chart selection. This is department, sorry. So department dot get selected member, and what member we are selecting is department. If we write this code, we don't have to capture the value. There is no need to capture the value, because we are capturing the value here itself. But to make JavaScripting little easy, you first capture, do one by one. You execute one statement, the output of this you assign as input to the other statement. So that else you will write very complex, else like you will end up writing very complex JavaScripting. So instead of increasing the complexity, make things simple. You may have to write more code, but it will be very easy. Writing will be very easy. And again, if you do the practice continuously, right, then you will remember these things. You will remember these methods. Yeah, Dev, you are saying something?
Yeah. So basically, we are not going to use any typical JavaScript. So you will be using the JavaScript method, which we say DIL scripting, something like that, right?
Correct. Yeah, you will be using only methods. You are not going to create any new methods. You will use simply the methods available with the component, whatever component. So to just know the component, you write the component name. If you want to see the component like text box, what are the methods available? Type a text box, just put set. It will show all the methods available, and you just go by one, and then you will be able to see. Okay, this method is useful. This method you can do for what requirements. Based on your requirement, the keywords you can find.
Good, Rakesh. I was thinking to do JavaScript course. Thank you.
No. The course is not separate course of JavaScripting is not required. You can simply select from the available methods. It is very easy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, Aziz, is it clear?
Yeah, Rakesh, looks like it's very logically things have been arranged over here, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll increase the complexity little bit, little by little. But yeah, from your end also, what is required is you do the practice on regular basis so that you come up to this point. So next time when we are talking about JavaScripting, you will have some idea. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, what I was thinking, it's more complexity will be coming in future.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. See, it will
yeah.
increase, but
So-
if you do practice regularly and you use these
So
methods,
practice, yeah. So practice make it more easier.
yeah. So see, most of the methods, this is very commonly used method. Set filter is very commonly used.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Clear filter, set filter, clear filter, those are the methods which are you will be using over and over again for in every dashboard. So if you create 2-3 dashboards, after that you will remember most of the methods. Common methods you will remember, all the methods nobody can remember. So based on your requirement, again you will go and see in the list. But common methods, yes, you will be able to remember.
For this, do we have any kind of these kind of methods? Is that have a lot of examples in any other document or something like that, so that we can keep record? Is that possible?
See, when you do a JavaScripting, right, you are not going to refer any document. Okay, what method you can use for sure, because the document is here itself. You can simply control and space and everything is available here. You simply say, okay, I want to apply a method. I don't know what method I want to apply, but I have a requirement. I want to apply a method on data source. You simply put dot. Sorry, Aziz, I just muted you because there was echo coming.
No, that's true. That's true. I got it. That's a good example.
Yeah. So you just put a dot and it will show you all the. Then based on your requirement, you want to put a filter, clear filter, or you want to copy the filters, export it to something, or you want to get something out of it, get data as a string, get data. So based on your requirement, you can use methods. There are a lot of methods. I have not used all the methods in last 2 years also. Last 3 years I am working almost. So last 3 years I have not used all the methods. They are most commonly methods you will be using it. And some methods based on requirement you will be using it. So you just do practice, come up with some requirements and write the Java scripting accordingly, and then it is fine. After some time, after a month's practice, you will be very comfortable with Java scripting for sure. Okay, any other question, guys? Okay, so if there are no other questions, we can.
Rakesh, are you going to so the 1 hour class is every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. So I have to keep that tomorrow as well. So okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have classes from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday we don't have classes.
Okay,
That is the top 5. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, Dev.
Yeah, that top 5, top 10, I was asking yesterday. So, are we going to see that tomorrow or day after tomorrow maybe?
See, top. I'll tell you one simple solution for that. So let's use a, instead of info chart. That feature is not available with info chart, I guess. So you use a chart. Okay, I'll just hide this info chart for a minute, for some time, and let's give auto height, auto width option for the chart also, so that it covers the complete area. Okay, and let's assign, you want to show top 5 countries.
Yeah.
Okay, I have only 5 countries, so we'll display top 3 countries in a pie chart. Let's select pie chart. Okay, so there is an option in additional properties. If you go, okay, there's a called bin. So instead of, you say 3.
Yeah, this is type of static, like I am aware about it, Rakesh. Okay, so what I'm looking like when in a drop down, when I will be clicking 5, okay, the same chart, instead of putting 2-3 charts over there,
Yeah.
the same chart can convert to dynamically 3, 4, 5, like how we want. So here in this case, if you want top 5, top 6, hello?
Yeah, carry on. Okay.
Here in this case,
Yeah.
like if I want to say top 6, then we have to replace 2-3 charts.
Correct.
Okay, and then we okay, so we won't be able to achieve the things because like if it is dynamic, if the data is coming dynamic from data source, sometimes it can be 5, 10, 3, sometimes it can be 6, 7, 9.
Then,
okay.
Yeah. Then what you should have is, see, you should have that value, the top n, whatever is n, either it is 3, 5, 6, that value should come from the database. So you should pass that value back to the database using a variable. You use a Bex variable for n. So the user will enter the value of n from the front end. It will pass the value and it will calculate top n based on that variable value, whether it's top 3, top 5, top 10, and bring the data for top 5, top 10, and then you can show the data. But yeah, that calculation needs to be done at the back end. You can just pass that value as a, I showed you, right, application dot set variable. Using that, you can set that variable and run the data source again, bring the data and show it. I thought yesterday that you wanted to display top 10 here. So
no. This is type of fixed data, right? We know, like we have a 3 condition, top 3, top 5, top 6. Then that can be actually we are hiding and showing. Okay, using the bin value. But if I want, same chart will be there for the performance optimization, and from the drop down, if I want 3, 5, 6, or like whatever, how the things are coming, okay, in the front end level, not in back end level. If we don't have Bex, okay, and we have some non-SAP data source, in that case also we can achieve it, through array. I don't know much, but I know just the logic. We can achieve it. I was just seeing the code but couldn't able to understand. I will send you that code. Please have a look and just interested to know that. Okay, so if that could be done, it will be great help.
Okay, you send me whatever pointers you have, and I'll work on that.
Sure, Rakesh. I will send you that.
Okay. Fine. So what I'll do is, because we are already late, 10 minutes over, so I'll if there are no more further questions, then I'll stop the session. I'll share the recording in another half an hour or so, and tomorrow at the same time we'll connect again.
Okay, Rakesh. I will send my questions to you.
Yeah, you
by
send
mail.
me. Yeah, sure. Okay, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll connect again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.